I'm an earthworm woman. In the mornings, I fill my tanks by breathing the energy of the sea and tasting the power of the sun penetrating my skin. There's an air of no care, which comes with age, and I hold my head up proudly, liking who I've become. I'm not afraid of smells, or dirt, or to walk barefoot across the stones. Sometimes I wade through the shallow water just to embrace its fluid element, my hair often crazy and loose, being pulled by and flying in the wind. I can be glamorous if I want to, although makeup was never my thing. And I've learnt that life is for living, not fearing, and so I absorb it like a sponge.
Grand rising, everyone, and good morning and good evening for the people on the other side of the world, because my guest today is someone who's on the other side of the world from where I am, and I'm very excited to be honoured to be able to talk to him today. And I'm just going to quickly just say how this came to be. Probably back in 2022, 21, whenever it was, 22, when I organized, or before that, maybe, I'm Andrea, and I don't remember how I met her, but anyway, I was quite sick. But the thing about her was she had this positivity and just really upness about her. Very happy, very smiley woman. Anyway, I know she's been through all kinds of I'm probably not allowed to say disease because it isn't disease, so illnesses, but she's a perfect example. She told me about Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and I thought, okay, I would love to talk to him on my Earthworm Woman show. Because I could just see he's just, oh, there he is back. So I'm just going to introduce you. Here we go. Everybody knows, well, a lot of people know Darrell. And so, hi. Good evening. Good evening to you. Look, this isn't really, it's not really like question, answer. It's conversation. And I was watching one of your, what would you call them? You talk to people who have come to you, and they share what's going on with them, and you talk to them, and you talk to the partner. I think it was. I don't know if it was alive yesterday. It was a woman who'd had cancer 3 times, and I was watching it, and I was really very interested in a lot of things you said, obviously. And I don't know if that's my internet or your internet. It's gone all strange. Going to keep talking. What it was you were talking about, what you do is you talk about reversing the irreversible. I seriously hope that's not my internet. Are you still there, Darrell? Okay. Now, I had a feeling this might happen. He's in Mexico, and Dr. Braveheart. Yes, okay. I think you've come back. Add to the stage, remove and add again. Just give it a moment. There's a lot of different energies going on at the moment. I don't know if anybody felt yesterday, like last night we had the eclipse, a lunar eclipse, And there was a very, very bizarre energy I felt around. Um, Both me and my daughter felt it. Um, what's happening? I hope that's not your internet. Um, I was going to ask him some questions. um, there's no point in me talking to nothing. I'm just going to move him across over there. So there's been a very I'll just check in to see if he can get back in. There's been very unusual energy, I think, in the last 24 hours specifically. And here we go. We can't see you, we can't hear you. Let's get him on the phone. Can you see me or hear me? Because can you see or hear me? Hear me? We've lost you. Try to get back in if you can. That would be great. Okay. Because this is live, I can't just stop it and start again. I would love to. There's been a very okay. So here he is. Hi, Darrell. Can you hear or see us? Me?
Got a signal. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay.
I've got a signal.
On your side, so I believe I'm fine, but you just went to black.
I have a signal though. I'm gonna come back
Just
on.
try and do it again. Yeah, we'll just talk amongst myself until you're here. Okay. He's having a lot of trouble coming in.
What I do is send them a Zoom link and just tell the audience, look, we're going to record it with Zoom. Zoom can work on.
Okay, I'm on the live right now. He's there. Bye. Okay, so technical issues, and you're back.
Yes.
Now I was just talking about the energy. We had the eclipse. You would have it now, and yesterday here, both me and my daughter, we were going. I feel like I need to hold my head. There's an energy there was an aura of electrical bizarre energy in the air yesterday, and it was like, what is it? We both had exactly the same sensation. So I don't know if that was picking up the electrical things, but anyway, that's one thing. I'm very interested in you. So I'm interested to know, first of all, right now your thing is Reverse the Irreversible, and you're known as Dr. Detox and Braveheart Nation and all of that. But where did you come from originally? Were you a normal doctor? Your story.
I don't know what a normal doctor is actually, but no, I got my doctorate in natural medicine. I got a doctorate in acupuncture. Okay, and before I did that, I became a registered massage therapist. I became a colon therapist. I had a colon therapy school by the time I was 28.
A colonoscopy you had? You had?
Colon therapy school, yes.
Oh, yeah, right. And so, so it's always been normal for you to do natural things and go the natural way. Was that the way it always has been growing up?
Well, when I was 17 years old, my grandfather got colon cancer. And then he came to live with us. And then he went into the hospital. And then he was complaining because he didn't have a bowel movement for 10 days. They wouldn't do an enema on him. The stool softeners wouldn't help. I knew nothing at 17. We actually brought him home. And I don't even want, it kind of sounds really disgusting, but we actually had to pick it out of his rectum. It was so dried up. And it was really bad. My mother through this whole thing, it was awful. She was throwing up. We were gagging, but it was awful. And, I'm 17 years old. I mean, it was pretty traumatizing. And then giving my father I mean, my grandfather, a coffee enema back then. And I even think back then that coffee enemas can save a life. But, when you've got leaky gut and you decide to clean out your liver, that can be a really dangerous thing because everybody has leaky gut now. Everybody has leaky gut. If you notice, everybody has leaky brain, and people have brain disorders, whether it's anxiety or it's ADHD, ADD, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, okay, or you just have terrible mood swings, or you can't sleep at night because you have nightmares. This is all because you have so much bad bacteria in your large intestine, and now you've got pinholes in your large intestine, and you're actually pooping in your pelvis and getting it in your bloodstream until it attaches itself to your brain, and then that's why everybody's got leaky brain. I mean,
that's what I've heard a lot. Yes, you talk about. So now, obviously, some people are aware, and some people do try to do everything to look after themselves. But are you saying that basically, no matter what you do, because of our society, because of what we're surrounded by, and what some
no,
people.
no, I won't say no. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. They will never win. And they won't win if you embrace nature and move closer to nature. The more that you embrace technological breakthroughs, which are just breakdowns, the more in trouble you're going to be. I mean, let me just say this. I mean, most people think that even today, antibiotics were just the greatest thing and it was the greatest breakthrough. It saved so many people. Bullshit. That's not even true. And understand, we never needed antibiotics. I mean, there are so many natural antibiotics that are thousands of times stronger and do no damage. So everybody's living in this grand illusion. One round of antibiotics will kill 90% of the good bacteria in your large intestine. And an antibiotic vibrates below zero. Below zero. Everything is frequency, everything is vibration. Everything is frequency, everything is vibration. And the reality is it vibrates below zero and it turns on what we call the death vibe, which is a specific type of fungus that drills holes through your large intestine because it thinks that you're dead or dying on the way out. So now you get all these pinholes through your large intestine. Now you've got a screen door in your large intestine, and now you've got trapped protein particles going in, parasites, you've got fungus going into the body. I mean, anybody that has toe fungus has systemic fungus right throughout their whole body. So people don't realize that the large intestine is the holy grail of healing. That's it.
Right. So, I mean, I think obviously I personally, I've always been interested in health. I've always been interested in preventative rather than get sick and then deal with it. And I feel I do my best to.
And can I say something? Is that okay?
Yeah.
People aren't actually getting sick. They're healing, except they don't know how to heal themselves, so their body has to heal them. So they need diarrhea, or they need a fever, or they need snotty nose. This is a healing. Every time somebody says they're sick, their body says, "You're not sick. You have sick choices that you've made." Okay. You've made yourself toxic. You don't know how to look after you. So we are going to heal you. So we have to purge. So from a fever to diarrhea to sweating to headaches to muscle spasms and cramping, trying to get rid of things. There is no sickness. It's all BS. All of it. There's no 2,200 diseases. They're all just love messages from the body, and some more severe than others because you don't know how to communicate. There's 2,200 diseases because they're going to invent 2,200 pharmaceutical drugs. Understand that, okay?
Yes.
There's
That's right. So it all comes.
There's only not being aligned with what you truly are.
And I have to say this: a lot of people who watch this, I'm not saying that they're all these perfect, healthy human whatevers, but they are very interested in this way of living. More people are living in actually listening to their bodies and listening to what the right thing is. You know, a lot of big majority of people on here didn't take the anything in the arm, didn't listen to all of that stuff, and have been shoving protocols and black seed oils and anything which is they know might be good down their throat. But I'm interested to know how we got here to have so many of these, like you said, you know, the leaky guts and all of that. I mean, I'm aware that processed food and all the things that they've constantly barrage at people could be to blame for a lot of it, the inflammatory oils and blah blah. But what's the question there? Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people are aware, but what is the major thing in your opinion then that has created have all these mind problems or physical problems?
We gave up our authentic self. We gave up unconditional love for conditional love. We bought into that there's a God that actually judges us. So we walk around with guilt all the time. We buy into the system that there's a justice system. There's only a judgment system. There's only 1% of the food that's edible in a supermarket right now.
Yeah.
You know, we know that it's, your listeners know that there's glyphosate in all processed foods. There's also graphene, the same thing that was in the V in most foods. It's in all Pepsi and all Coke. All their products have it now. They still have a 3-year contract with Bill Gates. So we have, we got our Wi-Fi in our house. We don't, if we turned it off at nighttime, and we actually got grounding sheets to offset the blue light. Right now I'm wearing Tesla Hyperlight glasses because the more that you are around negative EMF, you have to spend the same amount of time grounding. Now, most people aren't going to ground for 8 hours because most people are on their phones and in Wi-Fi and terrible EMF situations for 8 hours a day. So, you know, that's why we look at grounding sheets and look at a grounding pillowcase, and actually real good ones, because you need to do that at night to replace the electrons. People are getting their electrons stolen all day from all of this. Remember this. Blue light is more toxic than 5G, or even though everybody just goes on about 5G. Blue light has the worst free radical damage in the body, and it only takes 3 minutes to start brain. What?
Sorry, is blue light the normal light then?
Blue light is what's coming off the phone. It comes off the TV. It comes off all the LED lighting. It comes off of your computer. So how many people are in front of that for hours a day? Did you know that after 3 minutes, you're doing brain damage? Did you know that all of these eye disorders are not eye disorders? They are actually because there's a brain disorder going on, because your eyes don't see. They only pick up frequency and light. So blue light should only happen at noon, but it's happening all day long. And so what happens, you throw off the whole circadian rhythm, and it actually causes inflammation of the brain. So.
Oh my goodness. See, the problem I have is the young people. So, you know, if you've got a young person in your life who they get some of it, they understand some of it, but they live in a world where everything is just on the phone, everything. And they sit up for hours watching this thing. It's so difficult to get them to understand. Yet there's like 1,000 problems that you're surrounding you, because they don't want to hear negative all the time, you know. And I'm not saying there's an answer to that, because there isn't an answer. You have to slowly get them to realize.
Well, you can tell them that 5,000. You can tell this teenager that there's 5,000 teenagers being diagnosed with cataracts every day now.
Wow.
Those
I know
cataracts are all from blue light poisoning. And the reality is this: if they're on the blue light, you don't even like that person. You can't like that person, because blue light, it burns the nervous system, creates anxiety. It dumps adrenaline and cortisol as long as you're on it. Even though you keep on thinking you're trying to get the joy hormones, the dopamine, the oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. No, it
Mm,
actually causes adrenaline dripping. And
yeah.
people don't get that. That's why you're, after watching TV, after being on your phone, after being on a computer, you're more tired than you've ever been. At the end of the day, oh, I'm so exhausted. Well, no, you've had the life sucked right out of you. You can't do blue light for, after 3 minutes for an adult, you got brain damage. After 30 seconds for a baby, anyone that up to the age of 8 has brain damage. This is where we're going now.
Wow. And what do people, this young people, some of them, this generation, if they have children, what do? They shove iPhones or phones into babies' hands just to keep them, occupied because they can't possibly look around them and take in the world.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. There's enough of us waking up. You only need one person to wake up out of 10,000 to create a difference on this planet. But the parents that are now, they will be known as the lost generation. Okay? They'll be known as the lost generation. And the children of the parents right now will be known as the sickest generation that we've had on the planet. Okay? But the amazing thing is the body can heal. You can you can be in the worst condition and your body can heal. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that's why I use the word reverse the irreversible, because I've
Yeah.
seen it all.
Well, I
The
don't know if
only
you heard.
reason, if I can say this, the only reason
Yeah.
why most people pass on way too early is they actually buy into the BS of a medical doctor who's no doctor. They're not doctors. They don't teach. They're surgeons and they're physicians and they sell drugs. And you know what? People shouldn't stop complaining about medical doctors because they're not doctors. And if you're going to go to them, understand what they sell and then ask yourself if you need that. That's all.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's you go for a diagnosis maybe, or it's just I think I've got this, and
We
then
don't need a
often I used to do
diagnosis.
that.
We don't need a diagnosis. I'm telling you right now, there's only one illness and it's inflammation. And guess what? I don't care if it's in your nose or in your toes or all the way in between. It's
Mm,
displaced calcium from the bones and it's scar tissue created from infection, which can happen emotionally or physically, that turns into inflammation. But the problem with today's people is everybody's rotting out. Everybody's got, not everybody, but most people have bad breath. Their bowel movements stink. Their armpits stink. Okay.
mm,
They've got bellies on them, whether they're male or female, that they look like they're 3 months pregnant to 9 months pregnant. And they're not, because the bacteria have gone into bad bacteria and the yeast went into fungus. And now they've got their own private manure pile down in their large intestine.
So what can they, besides, I know there's lots of things you talk about in your what do you call them? In your they're not shows, they're lives where you actually show what you sometimes you show the physical workshops that you do, and then you do the talking ones. And I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was just talking about the one I saw yesterday with the woman who'd had cancer recur 3 times, and I thought that was so. I knew exactly how you were dealing with it. I could see her changing as well, and I could
Well,
see her
because I was
holding.
empowering her. I was empowering her because there is no cancer. There is only lack of oxygen and lack of electrical conductivity. We know we
Mm,
can get the oxygen back into the cells. We know we can bring up the electrical conductivity. I mean, when your oxygen drops by 15%, your electrical conductivity drops by 15%. This is real science. And that's when pain, inflammation, and swelling kicks in. When it drops by 25%, that's when the parasites are created from the invisible inside your body to go in
mm,
and try to eat up things that are decomposing in you, because that's where you are. You're decomposing. When you got worms, you're decomposing. And then if it drops to 35%, then that's called suffocation of the cells, and the cells don't want to die. So you know what they say? Oh my God, we don't have to die. Look at all the lactic acid here. will live off the lactic acid. So they change their whole digestive system, and now they feed on lactic acid and they create lactic acid because everything wants to survive. And that's all. What they call a cancer cell is just a normal cell saying, I don't want to die. I want to survive. So it changes how it lives. And I'm just going to say this, not to be a troublemaker, but cancer doesn't spread. Infection spreads and inflammation spreads. You can't show me one study that a cancer cell spreads. It spreads its inflammation and infection. That's it.
Hmm. And another thing I've heard you say, I think enough, is through biopsies, which is what, is that correct? Like people go get a biopsy on something.
A biopsy, well, think about it. When you go in, you're going to take a little piece of that little fibroid. It could be the size of a pea. But when you go in and you take that little piece of tissue, you take it from stage 1 and you jump it into stage 3. If it's at stage 1 or 2 and he's aggressive or she's aggressive when they go to get the tissue, they'll take it to stage 4. And now she's got stage 4 inflammation and they call that cancer. Yes. I did a show with a lady, 71 years old, little pea size. And it started off as a pea. And I said this, you could have came and we could have got rid of that in a half an hour with cell sonic regeneration and non-surgical. I'm telling you, you know what? It's one thing to be a big mouth and it's one thing to follow through. On my website, you'll see at dodpowerpack.com, I worked on a tumor 5 inches by 3 inches by 1 inch thick with cell sonic regeneration and non-surgical. And in 27 minutes, I had it down to 1 inch by 1 inch. Wow. It's on video. And people don't understand that it's scar tissue, calcification, and we only create these storage sheds called fibroids and tumors because the body wants to save you until you wake up. So that's all it is. The worst toxins, the worst bacteria, the worst heavy metals, and the parasites are also getting locked into the tumor. So anyways, this lady started off with a biopsy, and it was the size of a pea, 71 years old. After they did that, they went in and they said that it was stage 4 inflammation. So what did they do? They said she had 3 clogged lymph nodes under her arm. They took those out. They took the pea out. And guess what? That was in 2021. So then what they found was you can't do that kind of terrorizing because surgery causes more inflammation, scar tissue formation, and calcification of the area. Depending on the trauma, will depend on how much is there. So now, guess what she has? She has 3 masses in there. So guess what they did after they after they took that little pea out and they took the lymph nodes, they did radiation on her just to be safe. So now they did the radiation. Now she's got 3 masses in her breast. And you know what they want to do now? They want to remove the masses. And because they did the radiation, now they can only do chemotherapy. But now they want to remove the whole breast as a preventative, and then take the fat from her abdomen and build her a new breast.
Wow.
And this all started from a little pea. And I'll tell you, I don't say this to people, but if people come to me with things like this, and in the first treatment, if I don't give them some form of result and make them understand that their body will heal, I don't want their money. This is not a marketing pitch. I'm trying to tell you, the human body is amazing. It's amazing. All we got to do is pull the scar tissue apart, get the calcium back into the bones, reduce the inflammation by reducing their infection. And the biggest part of that is how they scare women. They scare them and terrorize them, and they go home, and the actual adrenaline and cortisol will blow that tumor up so big within days.
I agree that they do scare women. That's right. We've got so many more. I mean, I've never ever had a mammogram, and I never ever intend to have one. But we're supposedly got to check this, and this. I just more and more believe, just live each day as well as I can, and as because then, like you talk about all the time, the negative energy. If you can actually bring stuff bad. I know you don't like the word illness. What to
Well,
yourself?
it's like this. Whatever you feed gets bigger. Wherever your focus
Yes.
is, it doesn't. You know what? We have actually been taught the more we worry, the safer we'll be, and that's why everything's going to hell in a basket. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something right now. You never have to go to and get another test, a blood test, an X-ray, an ultrasound again. When you understand the power of your body and your healing, you know what?
Yes.
When you're in touch with yourself. I haven't been to a doctor since I was 21 years old. And I'm going to
Wow.
tell you something. And I haven't been to a doctor. And when I got together with Lori, Lori would go and get all her tests. She will
Mm,
never go for another test again. We've been
no.
together for almost 20 years and she's
Yeah.
never went for one test. And she should go for all of them. And guess what? We don't need to be tested. We were created by God Almighty. We are the source of our healing. And you know what? If you're in touch with yourself, especially women, God, your feminine power is 100 times stronger than a male's power. You should be
And
so in
intuition.
touch with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
mean.
need to get tested. You know what?
Mm,
This just shows that we don't have faith in ourselves. And the
mm.
reality is you do need to get tested
A
if
lot of people are
you
saying that
aren't going to love, honor, and respect your body, and everything that you do is high vibrational. So then you do need to get tested. If you want to live the average woman's life, then you're going to need a lot of tests.
yeah, no, I mean, I think absolutely 100% agree with you. And I feel that's people are there, becoming more and more there, just listening to themselves. We wouldn't have, if all these people here, the ones who are pretty much 99% are with us, listened to their intuition about, what they were trying to propose the last 5 years ago, 4 years
Mhm.
ago, um, and have continued to do that. Actually, try, all the words people say, living in their truth, listening to their inner, all of that. And I 100% agree with you. This is how we should live, and it's so freeing when you go there and when you go into that space and think, I'm not okay. There's all that crap going on out there, all that things that they're trying to put on us here, all this chaos, all this people who've got all the things around you. But the most important thing now, the most important person is us, you, me, individuals. And I think people are realizing that more and more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
you, I loved what you said the other day that you were never going to fit in. You were not the guy in my childhood. You aren't the guy who you were as a child, I suppose, and you were never going to fit in. And I think that's for a lot of us. We feel that, and it's not like we're the chosen ones or anything like that, but we just are able to see things differently. I don't know, feel things differently. But what I was going to say, a lot of people here are saying that they wish they'd known some of this stuff, you know, 20, 30 years ago. And I do too. I mean, I had a fibroid piece-sized lump removed from my breast like many years ago. It was nothing. It was just a fibroid adenoma or something. But I just thought, oh, yeah, that's what you have to do. Now, I probably could have broken it down or something, or yeah.
Well, you're actually not breaking it down. You have to understand that a fibroid is caused because of the lack of something. Okay.
Mm.
Remember that a fibroid is scar tissue that okay, let's say that this is beautiful connective tissue. We got oxygen, blood flow, electrical energy going between the fibers. When
Mm.
you get infection in the body, and understand something, that fibroid was actually caused because of your bowels backed up, your liver, you backed up your lymph. And when you back up your lymph, you'll one of the main lymph areas right under here. When you back this up, you've got what we call breasts. They're made out of fat. And when you get too much infection in here, where does the infection go? It gets stored in fat. Let me tell you something. If you noticed, we're talking about right now 92% of the population in the United States, I can't talk for Australia, okay, is
Yep.
overweight and 86% is obese. And remember that fat cells are only made to store infection and inflammation. So, okay, to keep you healthier. So the fatter
Mm.
you are, okay, all right. So the breasts are made out of fat. So understand that they could be a magnet to toxins if you back up in your lymph nodes. I tell every woman, when you go into the shower every day, you need to clap for
Yeah.
just 1 to 3 minutes underneath your armpits, and you never would have had that happen in your breasts.
Wow. Wow. Yep. That's interesting.
Well, remember something,
People,
clapping brings back circulation, and any
mm,
place in your body that you have a problem, whether you have inflammation, pain, swelling, or stiffness, you've got a
yeah.
blockage, and it's
Okay.
calcification or scar tissue.
I have one in my foot, on the top of my
You
foot,
have
but
what?
like it's underneath my skin on the top of my foot.
On top of your
It's like,
foot?
yeah, it's like a lump, and I cast oil it all the
Okay.
time.
So what you want to do is just get yourself some coconut oil, put
Mm,
some coconut oil on it, then get one of you have essential oil bottle.
mm,
Then hold on here, watch, I'll show you. Okay. This here is called silver bullet spray, but let's say this was your essential oil bottle. You see the
yeah,
bottom edge? Let's say that was my foot. I'm going to take the edge here and I'm going to
yeah.
go in all directions and I'm going to go in and break that up. And guess
Hmm.
what? No, I mean it. Well, do you want to leave it alone and let it grow? That's what
Well,
it's going
yeah.
to do. Or you're going to take the bottom edge of the bottle on
Mm,
its side and you're going to brave it. And when you go and you can do this, you can make this kind, oh, and just go in there and
yeah.
break it up and then put some DMSO gel on it and then keep applying that throughout the day and maybe some essential oils. And guess what? You might have to do it maybe one more time and it's
Mm.
gone. Or you can just let it grow. Let me tell
No,
you,
no.
guess what? Getting old is letting the lumps and the bumps grow. It's letting scar tissue actually build up and calcification in your joints. And that, you know
Mm.
what? I'm never going to be old. I am not going to be old. I will be, when I'm in my 90s, I will be acting just like I'm in
I'm
my
with you.
40s.
I'm with
And
you.
you know what?
100%.
I know, but you've got to love, honor, and respect your body. And yeah.
I agree, and I do that. That's right. But I've been doing sort of like that, so I didn't realize you have to use something hard. I'll do that with
You got to
something
break it
hard.
up. You got to break
Yeah.
it up, love.
Mm. Okay. Look, I mean, I'm really interested in hearing about what your processes and things like that. Not just so people can actually understand the things that you promote or whatever, the things that make up you. um, so tell me about which one of them. I don't know. The irreversible is not a word. No, Braveheart Nation. Tell me what
I'll
Braveheart
tell you
Nation.
about, well, Braveheart Nation. So we created it about a year and a half ago. It's the world's largest app, and it's a self-care, self-love app to unite Bravehearts all around the world. It's called bhnapp.com. On
Yeah.
there, you can track your healing process. You can download different vibrational music to actually realign. You can have this little you know, um, bowl go off every 5 minutes. And when you hear it, you then ask yourself, do I have a slight smile? Am I connected to my breath? Okay. Am I in the present moment? Do I own it? So we have lots of things. We have the world's largest free masterclass library for teaching people on there. Everything from their nose to their toes, right?
Mm,
I don't know what else that's what Braveheart Nation is. And then
yeah.
I'm in the studio right now. We have a 60 by 40-foot studio. We have 4 major studios here, and our Braveheart Nation TV runs 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And we have, and I'd say that about 95% of it is, it's not about marketing, it's about training. It's about teaching people as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, yeah. And I see that like every time I look on Facebook, whatever, you've got something else going on. So it's like an urgency would that be the right word even, to actually inform people? Because you mentioned America and the overweight and all the problems there. Now Australia is, I'd say, very close. I haven't been to America recently. I lived there when I was finishing school, but and even then I was quite surprised by the size of people. Australia has become very lazy. I'm not Australian, so I can say this now. No, it's become a very lazy country, and that's why we were one of the biggest, I believe, who just went whatever the government said, and not us. A huge percentage of Australians went with what the government said because they don't.
Yeah,
There's a sort of
there's a problem there, and that is
yeah,
this. I think Australia is beautiful. We've done teachings there.
yeah,
There's nowhere to go to. I'm in Mexico. I can drive to the States, or I can go to Canada, or I can go all the way down to South America. And
yeah.
that's why Australia and you take England, that's why they got away with what they got away with, this whole COVID thing, because
Ireland,
there was nowhere to run and hide,
yeah, yeah, and
so
New Zealand, and New
that's a
Zealand.
problem.
Very bad. That's right. And that's where you do feel like that here. I mean, I'm from England, and you feel, not that I've got any reason to go back there at the moment, but in Australia, you do feel quite not isolated because it's a massive country, but exposed or something, like targets. We're a target for sure. And have you heard of Barbara O'Neill? Do you know Barbara O'Neill?
Yes, I know Barbara O'Neill.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, she's a perfect example. Someone who actually knows what they're doing to inform people. Australia, she'll be jailed if she talks about if she gives off any advice in Australia. You know that?
Yes.
Arrested. It's insanity. Someone said that you remind them of Barbara. Aversion. But anyway, look, I don't. Another comment I wrote down from one of your things the other day was your subconscious is in charge, so you need to change your thought process. So that's the base of it, really, isn't it? Would you say?
Well, the subconscious is 90% of your brain. Your conscious brain is only 10%. And the majority of the population, when I say majority, I'm talking about probably 1% of 1% is it in the present moment more than 2% of the day, maybe 5%. But the majority of the people are only in the present moment 2%. So if you don't change, nothing changes. And the subconscious, I'm going to try to explain it because people don't get it. The most important thing you can ever do is learn how to become the master of the subconscious by cracking the coconut from the inside out. And the reality is this: from 0 to 7, you were in a theta state. That was a trance. Everything you heard, everything you learned from 0 to 7 was the God's truth. And guess what? That made up 97% of your personality. Did you hear what I just said? So you could be 90 years old and you are still living off the belief systems you got when you were 0 to 7.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're talking only 1 out of 10,000 people actually go to get trained on how to crack the coconut and change their belief systems. So if anybody's thinking of any great awakening happening tomorrow, it's not going to. So the reality is if you knew, think about it. Why would your subconscious be 90% of your brain? All it is the storage. Everybody, you need to get this, that it all it does is it stores prominent dominant beliefs, and most of those were given to you by adulterated humans and, okay, by corporations, by media, and by these entities that have been ruling the planet since the beginning of time. So there you go. So no wonder you're screwed up. But the reality is here is that subconscious, let's say you went to a store, you bring home a computer. That's what your subconscious is. You plug it in and you go, honey, it's not doing anything. It's a blank screen. Oh, we forgot. We got to put programs in it. Well, guess what? What if somebody else put their programs into your computer and your life was a bumpy road the whole way through? And you know what? And you know what you think? Not you. When I say you, I don't mean you, but the majority of the population, actually believed that their personality was some kind of God's gift. And it wasn't. It was man driven, not God given. And that's why that's why people live in hell here. Because you know what? Self-love went to selfishness, and guess what? And people believe in guilt like a religion. They believe in guilt. They give guilt. They have guilt. We got to get rid of all of this. But anyways, so now you've got a computer, and guess what? 97% of that computer has dysfunctional programs. We are just damn lucky that we have a spirit, because we wouldn't be alive at all. We would have rotted out a long time ago. So the reality is this: people keep doing the same thing. Somebody says listen, if you keep doing that, I'm going to leave you. What, does this girl or this guy actually think this person's going to change? Now they're just going to lie, because nobody's been taught that you can go in and you can change your personality. You can create a new reality. You can create a better life. And people don't know how to do that. And they can read a book. They can read many books. The only way to do it is to go to boot camp brainwash. And it is. And where you're not being brainwashed by someone, but where you open up the subconscious and you take a look at all the beliefs, all your belief systems. And guess what? You stop focusing on the ones that have been hurting you and hurting others all your life. And you focus on the ones that embrace you with unconditional love. And that's why I put this together. It's called the Braveheart Heroes Contract. And we're just redoing it. And we're going to send it out to everyone that's on our email list. And it'll also be in the BHN app. How would you like to do a contract for the first time in your life for you? You're going to sit down, and guess what? If I was the master of my emotions, if I could live anywhere, if I could go back and get my dreams and my passion, if I had total control of my life, where would I live? Who would I live with? What would it look like? What would I act like? What would I be doing? And I take you through this whole journey of creating a contract. And then you look at that contract for 5 to 10 minutes every 30 days. And I can tell you, I've had hundreds of thousands of people do it, and it has changed their lives forever, because nobody's ever sat down and created a template of what they believe would be their authentic self if they were in true alignment with their heart.
Oh, so many people are agreeing with you here, and I absolutely agree. I think this is it. Even the words program, what they put on the television, everything, we've been, majority of people have been programmed. I've got a woman who comes on here sometimes called Jeannie. She's got 11 kids. She homeschooled them all, and they're very free thinkers. I've met some of them recently because I do tap dancing with them, and she was an example of that. They don't go with what everybody said to go with. They don't go with the thought processes that they're supposed to be going with, and it's so important to undo that. It's interesting because my daughter, she was talking with her friend about how everybody just seems like robots nowadays. They all just seem to be bland and pretty much the same. And I don't think most people would say that, because they're one of them. They can't see it, but that's how it's become. Yeah. Everyone's going, absolutely. Agree with you. Yeah.
Well, here it is. We've got 8 billion people, and they've done such a great job. They've divided us through religion, through race, okay, through language, okay.
And now
and you know what? Think about this: for thousands of years, You'll have one country getting down on its knees. God, please give us and grant us to go kill our enemies. And then the other ones are doing the same thing. And then we come together and we kill each other for these entities that have come together and strategized how to hogtie 8 billion people and get them to hate themselves and each other. I will not,
Hate
it doesn't
themselves.
matter. It doesn't matter what a person thinks about me, whether they love me, they don't like me, they hate me. I will have unconditional love for every person on this planet. And when it comes to people that I cannot love, I will stay in neutral because
Mm,
they don't care. Like, everybody needs to get this. Bill Gates doesn't give a shit what you think. He's protected.
mm,
Fauci
mm.
got pardoned. And there'll be some of you going, they'll get theirs. They'll get theirs. They're not going to get theirs. And you're
No.
not going to get yours either because you're focused on their life. If we all walked away from this entity and actually came together with unconditional love, it would be over today.
That's it. And yeah, we don't, being neutral to them is the key.
You
Exactly.
know what?
Mm,
Guess what? You always get what you focus on. You know what?
mm,
I'm not searching for peace because that means I'm at war. So why in the hell would I search for peace? I'm searching for alignment and a higher vibration, 1% higher every day in my life. So I am going to seek out people that vibrate as high as me or higher. I'm going to
mm,
seek out whether I eat, drink, think, or whatever I do, it's high vibrational. You know what? I am just going to ride this thing. And
mm.
this is what it's got to be, everyone. And you know what? It's not selfishness, it's self love. And you have to have unconditional love for yourself. And if you can't have unconditional love and get rid of the shame, get rid of the guilt, get rid of the rage, okay,
Mm.
then guess what? Then you're screwed anyways. Think about all the freedom fighters. Are we done fighting yet? Because it never turns out. If we turned our backs on these people, understand that. If we turned our backs on them, we ignore them.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've got on a level in America, in Australia, supposedly at the end of the year, they are going to be bringing in a digital ID. Now, I don't know if that's a worldwide thing or if it was just
It's a
us.
worldwide thing. And if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to fly. And whether you believe this or not, right now I'm working with a person that was high up in government, and she's finding out the steps. And I'm not going to be
Mm,
like an ambassador, but it's going to be similar to that, where I can
mm,
fly anywhere if you do the steps and we do it right. And we're going to teach it in the sovereign soul. Listen, I've
mm.
got a lady and her name is Brittany. And we can show you
Yeah.
how to open up a trust to protect everything you have, and you're outside the government. We are actually going to show people probably in a few weeks how they can opt out of the digital ID and they can fly without it, and how you
Mm.
can keep your sovereignty. My show is called The Sovereign Soul for Freedom Lovers. It's only on BHN app because YouTube just took me down. And so I can't
Okay.
talk anywhere else except on my BHN app. We're going to have that show. And if people want to talk to some of the biggest people who know how to actually remember something, they use our language against us.
Mm.
They use our language against us. We don't know how to talk properly, so we never want to get in court. They try to use our language against us and tie us up. This has been going on for thousands of years. And understand this, we just have to supersede all their laws and rules. Listen to me, there is a God, and that is a universal creator. And if we came together and we actually really came together and brought people in together and create a Braveheart Nation, guess what? Their whole thing is going to crumble.
I'm gonna get people to go to the Braveheart Nation app.
Yeah, it's called Braveheart
Is that how it
Nation
works?
app.com or bhnapp.com. I'm going to tell you, everyone, we will never try to sell you product. We'll never push you. We'll never do a funnel on you. We'll never try to play you. It's not going to happen. So just know that we will give 1,000 times more than we ever take. and that's the way it's going to be.
What you're doing, that people can connect to, understand, they get it. And it's a lot of people. So this podcast came from Cafe Locked Out, which we started back in 2021, 2022. Interviewing, just documenting, talking to people who had stories in the world. So there's a lot of people looking who are on this wavelength, and they want to keep connecting and building. I mean, there's some people, like you said, who want to fight. But yeah, like someone just put up before, freedom fighter is an oxymoron. It's like, how does that work? Yes. How does that make sense? But I think we have to, I've always felt this, we have to connect, and we have to keep connecting, and in love, in the right way, because we create this vibration, we create this resistance of love or whatever. How can they?
Until you look, you got to get rid of all the judgment. Okay, all right. You got to get rid of sinner syndrome. You got to get rid of it all. Okay, you know what? Anybody crazy enough to come down here to this life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, and our parents, God love them, were adulterated. Our teachers, our preachers are adulterated. Everything's adulterated. So understand something. You've all done a great job. I just want to tell you, you've done a wonderful job. I'm so proud of all of you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But you know what? You've got to let yourself off the hook right now about everything. And you got to know that you've never made mistakes. We have to repeat things until we get them. You know what? Be patient with yourself like you would be a newborn baby, and love yourself, and don't put yourself ever on the hook. Don't talk down to yourself. Okay? If you can reach unconditional love for yourself, I swear to God, you will heal. You won't need me. You won't need anybody else. I'd like you to just put me out of business. And understand this, is that unconditional love is the highest frequency, and it will take down any entity that's been controlling you. You just got to, you stay in alignment. You don't lose your shit, because understand, their goal is to anger you, to put you into rage. And if they can do that, then you will make dumb decisions. And you've never made a good decision when you've been fearful. And we will never be fearful. Listen, United States and Canadian government came after me with all guns blazing 2.5, 3 years ago. Said I murdered 3 people to try to destroy me. Meanwhile, I would go to the United States and I'd call the people up who came after me, the media, and I'd say, I'm going to be lecturing here. Bring the police, because I'm ready. And guess what? They could never come. The whole thing was a lie. So understand, you'll have people that'll be jealous of you. You'll have people that will be fond of you in your life. You don't care what people think. It only matters what you think. When you no longer need approval from anybody, okay, and you don't take anything personal, and you know that you're coming from your heart, you don't have to explain yourself. You are here, and you are one of universe's greatest creations, and you got to get that. You know what? I'm telling you, they tried to make you feel guilty. You need to get rid of all guilt. I don't care whatever you think that you did in your past that you should be punished for. It's a lie. It's a lie. And if you think something that created the whole universe is needing you to do that, let me just say one thing, and then I will be quiet. Depending on what family you were raised from, will decide on what punishment you have, what religion you have, what language you have. Now, who's right? None of them. Who's wrong? None of them. Do you think that which created the whole universe cares what you're up to and doing? You're eternal. You want to go and blow yourself up, you go right ahead and do it. And you know what? I'm telling you right now, I'll have people call me up and go, Dr. Wolfe, are you still a Christian? Because if you're not, I'm not going to come to your DOD 5-star to heal. And I'll go, listen, I'm not even going to answer that question. Understand something. It's called unconditional love, and everybody's welcomed into my house. So you need to understand something. We have to get rid of all of the walls. all of the walls. It's got
Yeah.
to go.
Which people have spent all these years building, or children, or walls, exactly, and all the can't do this, can't do that. It's all the anxieties, and this is all created. I know. Yeah, anyone, but everyone loves it, so don't they say don't be quiet. Yeah, undo everything, undo everything. Look, I won't keep him much longer.
You have to unlearn everything that
Yes.
mommy, daddy, all your teachers, all your preachers, everybody gave you.
Mm,
You know, if you just knew that universal intelligence is waiting for you to go and become the architect of your life and nobody else.
mm,
And you have to be the architect of unconditional love for you, because every cell in your body is waiting for unconditional love, and for you to stop abusing yourself because you think you didn't make the mark.
mm. What's um what's the one thing, if you could give one bit of advice, I suppose? You said that fungus, if you have any sort of fungus on your toes, whatever, then you've got fungus all through you. We know there's parasites in people. What do you think is the main problem people should be concerned about removing?
Well, I don't know. Are you talking about an emotional level or a
No,
physical level, or
physical. If they have,
understand something? There, nobody has any problems if the large intestine is toned and the bacteria are strong. That's it. And you know what?
yeah,
I'm going to tell you. When I was 23 years old, I wrote a book called Health Matters, and I've been saying the same thing and for a long time. And
wow,
now people are going, "Oh my God!" Now it's fashionable to go
yeah,
leaky gut causes leaky brain. We knew that 45 years ago. And understand
mm,
something. You have never met, okay, okay. I have never seen so many people rotting out. You know that you can't have parasites in your body or fungus unless you have your own private manure pile rotting in your large intestine.
mm.
Let's
So
just use some logic.
how can they fix their large intestine? How?
Well, okay, just know this. We do have a warehouse in Melbourne. And, you know, I'll tell you right now,
Mm,
um, go into the pdgfree.com guide, perfect day guide. It's called pdgfree.com. And
free.com.
I give you everything. I give you everything. If you ever want to come on again and do a show with me, I'll
Yep.
pretend I'll do a consultation for you and create a perfect day for you. Or if you want to bring somebody on, I don't care what condition they have.
Mm,
You want to bring somebody on, and there's three of us. I will do
yep.
a perfect day consultation free, and I'll go through everything: emotional, nutritional, physical. But understand, first thing is, everybody always looks to their bowel when they're totally jammed up, impacted.
Yep.
Everybody's constipated because everybody cannot let go of their shit emotionally, so they
Mm,
can't let go of their shit physically. And I'm telling
yep.
you, it's not what comes out, it's what stays in. You do know that if you have bad breath, you've got worms, you've got fungus, and you've got a manure pile rotting because the hot gases are coming up and it's in your
Mm,
mouth. You do know
mm,
that if you have tooth decay, it's not from what you ate yesterday. It's the rotting fecal waste creating bad bacteria, and the gas comes up. You know why people have to go and get their teeth cleaned? You know what the plaque is? Fungus, bad bacteria, and small microscopic poop particles building up on your teeth. Come on, you roll over and say,
yeah.
"Hey, honey, good morning. Can I give you a kiss?" "Oh my God, please, somebody just pooped in your mouth. Go brush your teeth." Okay. The reason why it smells like your
Yeah.
bum, because it's coming from your bum. And
Wow. Wow.
gum disease is actually bum disease. And if you knew what gum disease is, it's dehydration of the gums, and they don't get dehydrated unless they're inflamed, and they don't get inflamed unless they're infected, and it's from the hot air come and rising up. So people don't get this. Your teeth are actually bones, and you're giving up your calcium in your teeth to try to keep the infection down in your mouth so that you don't get throat and mouth cancer. People don't get this. You know what? Dentists are terrorists. Okay, so they don't teach any of this. And understand something. Don't be brushing your teeth with a plastic bristle brush. Get a natural fiber one off of Amazon, and don't use dental floss anymore. It's got forever chemicals in, and the forever chemicals stay in you for 20 years, breaking down your immune system. Now, so I'm just trying to show
dental
you,
floss
if you've got smelly armpits, then you are rotting out in your bowel. That's how bad it is. You have filled yourself up with toxic waste all the way up to your throat. Well, what do you think? You're pooping in your pelvis. I wrote a song.
Yeah.
It's at the end of every show, pooping in your
Yes, I
pelvis.
saw that.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you
I
that.
don't smell under my arm.
What?
So I don't. Yeah, I never smell. Well, I mean, I'm sure I do sometimes, but I don't have that. Yeah. So I do one thing anyway, right? But
And
yeah,
understand
the
something. Take a look at everybody. The little pot belly that everybody's walking around with. Okay, they could even be skinny, but they got a pot belly. All right, and then we've got the people that their feet swell up, their legs swell up. And what do you think varicose veins is? That's chronic constipation. What do you think a cyst is? An ovarian cyst. It's pooping in your pelvis, and you've got all this dead bacteria infection. So now you've got to have a sac to hold all of this pus and bad bacteria, or would you rather ovarian cancer? Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, what about someone that sweats a lot, an over sweater?
Okay, well, here we go. Somebody that sweats a lot, they are having lymph node crises. The lymph nodes are making a ditch attempt to try to get rid of the poisons. And guess what? And then you've got the person that doesn't sweat anymore. Well, they're on their way to get what they call the big C. That's what they're on their way to do. They're jammed up jelly tight. So they've got so much toxic waste from the large intestine that dumped into the bloodstream, that backed up the lymph system, and now they don't sweat at all. Okay.
So they don't sweat, no sweating at all.
No sweating at all is because you've jammed up your pores. Well, come on. Okay, you flush the toilet, nothing's moving. It's because it's clogged, right? You got to, okay. And then when we talk about even that under the arms, every woman can kind of relate to this. The first thing you get is when you get breast pain when your period's on, that's because you have a bowel problem. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And women will always say, when I have my period, my breasts hurt when I get my period. Well, that's because the blood can't come down and get out efficiently. And then a lot of those women will have blood clots because of the stagnation. Instead of like a nice flow, they've got a swamp. And that's why they get the blood clots. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, because you have a lot of women I can tell on the show. And listen, women, there's no such thing as menopause. Yes, your period will eventually stop, but you don't need to have any symptoms. Remember something, the period didn't just get rid of the egg. It got rid of the worst toxic blood every month, and so that you would have loving in the oven if you got pregnant. And that's why women live longer, and that's why women are stronger. And then guess what? Now the period's slowing down, and guess what? Your liver's clogged, your lymph is clogged, your bowels broke down, you don't have the tone in there anymore. So guess what? You don't have the period to pick up the slack. So guess what? Now you start getting night sweats. And why would you get night sweats? Well, they're mini fevers. Got to burn off the infection that you couldn't get rid of from the period. Now you get mood swings. Well, of course you do, because you had leaky colon, and now guess what? The blood you're not getting rid of the toxins through the blood anymore. So now guess what? You're getting leaky brain. And what happens is you get the mood swings, you get the chills, you get aches and pains all over your body. Well, you can't have aches and pains unless you have infection. And if you have infection, you get inflammation. And if you get inflammation, you get contraction because you're lacking in the oxygen and your body's trying to pull the calcium out of your bones. Are you still here?
I've yeah, I know. Went a bit slow there for a sec. This is incredibly, obviously, information that's hard to hear for a lot of people, probably, but reality, which I think is people have to realize. Yeah, we don't go through. Everything's got a reason.
Okay, well, guess
So I
what?
know some people.
People will say to me,
Sorry?
Dr. Wolfe, you're Dr. Wolfe, you're a hard pill to swallow. And I'll say something to them. What would you like? Would you like the truth? Or do you want me to stroke you like everyone else? And understand something. I'm not here for the people that don't want to change. I'm only here for the people that want to change. And so it's very dangerous to also have me on your show. Or at least if I stay on my own platform, I stay in my own corral, let's say.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
reality is this. I didn't come out to disturb people, but you know what? I'm here for the people that say I can't take it anymore. Because guess
Mm.
what? I'm the guy that offers a money back guarantee on my consults, my treatments, my courses, my trainings. Now, guess what? I don't do that because I'm trying to suck people in because I'm not going to hide or go anywhere. I do it because it works. And the reality is the majority of the population is never going to buy into me. I'm not here for the majority of the population. I'm here for the lionesses, the lions there's one in each family. If I can wake them up, it's their job to then wake up their family. I know that I'm only good for 1 out of 10,000 and the rest are just going to give me the back hand.
No, I love it, and I think I'm 100% with you. I think there's no point in not talking. There's no point in actually withholding this because
Well,
people want to hear it.
just because somebody doesn't like you doesn't mean that you can't keep loving them. You
Yep.
think about that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to take any more of your time because of the
Okay.
also the totally you. But what was I going to say at the end? Yeah, I think we've got lots of things to think about here, and I'd love to I'd love to come on your show. Absolutely do that, and however you want to come back and every now and again, because I think a lot of people will go across to your Braveheart Nation as well. Are you Canadian or American?
I'd say I'm both.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
at the end of this, I'm going to play this song called "Oh Canada," and it's all about Trudeau, which we wrote, and I sang, because why not? Make it's a quite funny piece. But I want to thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you giving your time. A lot of people love what you say and do, and I love your passion, and I love it. Even though some people go, "Oh, he's a bit rude" or whatever. You're not rude. You're absolutely straight down the line. You're straight down. You say it how it is. You say exactly what you're supposed. People are supposed to hear.
If I can say one thing,
You can say many things.
I don't care what she thinks. I'm here to save the people that want to be saved. And you know what? We've all been cuddly and cute for how long? And we've all,
Yeah.
everybody's trying to be nice. Nice people
Pussyfoot
don't.
around.
Nice
Yeah.
people don't live that long. Okay.
Yeah. Do they say pussyfoot around? I don't think that's probably a general saying. And
Yeah.
hi, there's Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. So, and she told me she's doing better all the time, healing, sleeping lots, and keeping positive, because she was one of the most positive people I have ever radiated, and yet she had this cancer. Yeah, so thank you so much. I will wish you a good night in Mexico. I'll come and visit you there one day. Yeah.
I would love for you to come and visit. And if anybody else wants to come and visit, let me know. If you want to get out of Australia, I live in Zihuatanejo, Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo. It is beautiful. It's peaceful. You've never seen peace like this, everyone. Don't believe the rumors. It's absolutely unbelievable. I love living here. I've never lived anywhere better in my life, and I've been all around the world. So
Yeah. No, I've been to lots of countries, and I've never been to Mexico. Oh, actually, I've been to Tijuana, but Australia. I've been here for 27 years now, and it's changed, and obviously it's changed massively in the last 5 years. And people are scared. You feel people are scared. They're scared to go outside of their little, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is my, and they're blank. I mean, I think that's a generic thing around the world at the moment. But
well, you
yeah.
know what? When you can't handle something, you shut down. Remember that your brain's just a computer. That's all it is. It's a computer. And when it overheats, it has to shut down. And my heart goes out to all these people, and that's why we can't stroke anymore. We have to do a little poke. So let's just do the polka, okay?
That sounds like your next song. Let's don't stroke, we poke.
Yeah.
I can see the album. All right. Lots of love. Thanks so much. We'll speak again. All the best.
Thank you. God bless everyone.
Bye, Canada.
Fascism, Marxism, totalitarianism, Canada, oh Canada, nothing much good rhymes with communism. Elitism, globalism, government-sponsored journalism. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada, nothing much good rhymes with communism. Captivity is a surety in a 15-minute city. Canada, oh Canada, you don't want to live under communism.
I don't know what he's gonna do, or where he's really planning to go. But I do know that nothing rides the true love.
Lying, the fundamental skills of constantly complying. Canada, oh Canada, nothing much good rhymes. Communism with communism. Gastro, Monsanto, two words that rhyme with Castro. Canada, nothing much could right communism. Communism. Liberty, creativity, exploring your humanity. Canada, oh Canada, you can kiss that all goodbye under communism.
I know that you know what you gotta do. It's either gonna be